Story 1.
The Whispering Pines. It was late October when the 5 friends decided to go on their annual camping trip. This time, they chose red forest pine, a dense forest reputed for its eerie ambience and unsettling folklore. They set up camp by a small, murky lake, surrounded by towering pines that seemed to whisper secrets to one another in the wind. As night fell, the group gathered around the campfire, its flickering flames casting long shadows that danced ominously against the trees. Mark, the group's unofficial leader, decided it was time for ghost stories. Have you heard about the legend of the Whispering Eliza of the Red Pine? Mark began, his voice low and deliberate. The others leaned in closer, intrigued. They say this forest is haunted by the spirit of a woman named Eliza. She was a healer who lived here centuries ago. The villagers accused her of witchcraft and burned her at the stake right where we're sitting. A chill ran through the group as the wind picked up, rustling the leaves overhead. Mark continued, they say her spirit never left. She wanders the forest, whispering her curses to those who dare to stay here overnight. The friends laughed nervously, trying to shake off the growing unease. But as the night wore on, strange things began to happen. The wind seemed to carry faint, indistinguishable whispers. Shadows flickered just beyond the firelight, and an overwhelming sense of being watched settled over them. Around midnight, Sarah excused herself to go to the bathroom, taking a flashlight as she ventured into the dark forest. Minutes passed, then an hour, and Sarah had not returned. The remaining 4 grew increasingly anxious. Mark decided they needed to find her. They grabbed their flashlights and headed into the forest, calling Sarah's name. The forest seemed to close in around them, the pines whispering louder, as if mocking their fear. Suddenly, they found Sarah's flashlight lying on the ground, still on, but there was no sign of her. Panic set in. They split up, hoping to cover more ground. Emma, wandering alone, stumbled upon a small clearing. In the center stood a weathered stone, blackened by fire. She could feel a cold presence behind her. Slowly, she turned, and there stood a woman, her eyes hollow, her skin pale as the moonlight filtering through the trees. "Help me," the woman whispered, her voice echoing through Emma's mind. Emma tried to scream, but no sound came out. The woman reached out a skeletal hand, touching Emma's forehead. Darkness consumed her. The next morning, a search party found the campsite abandoned. The 5 friends were never seen again. The Red Forest's pines gained a new legend, the tale of the campers who vanished without a trace, their whispers joining those of Eliza in the eerie pines. To this day, those who venture into the forest claim to hear their desperate voices, forever lost among the whispering trees.
Story 2.
In a quiet town along Bedal Street, nestled in the plain of southwestern Minnesota, lived a lively young Hmong girl named Leah. She was known for her radiant smile, laughter, and love for nature. Every day, she would help her grandmother tend to the garden, play by the park, and dream of a bright future. One fateful afternoon, as Leah was crossing Bedal Street to go play at the park, a tragedy struck. A semi-truck, its driver distracted, barreled down the narrow road. Unable to stop in time, the truck struck Leah. The town fell into mourning as her family grieved the loss of their beloved daughter. As the days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months, the town's residents began to notice strange occurrences along Bedal Street. At night, an eerie glow would sometimes appear where Leah had been struck. Whispers filled the air about Leah's spirit returning, unable to leave the place where her life was so abruptly taken. One moonlit night, Mai, a young girl new to town, was walking home from her grandmother's house. As she approached the spot where the accident had occurred, she felt a chill run down her spine. The air grew thick, and a soft, sorrowful voice called out her name. Turning around, Mai saw the faint outline of a girl, shimmering like a mist in the moonlight. It was Leah. Her once bright eyes were now filled with a deep sadness. Mai tried her hardest to avoid the ghostly apparition. As Mai walked as fast as she could, she heard Leah crying and speaking out loud. "What happened to me? Where is my mommy? I can't find home." After this, the townsfolk would try to avoid walking home late at night. It wasn't every night that Leah's ghost would appear, just some unlucky or lucky nights.
If you like this story, please like and subscribe. Thank you.